Hello everybody, today is 6:44 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a couple of hours after the regular futures session close. I'm just getting around to recording today's video. It is Monday, March 20th. As you can see, on my left is the time and sales. The last trades on the E-mini S&P at 644 were at 23.70 and a quarter. So remember, we show the time and sales so that you can confirm that the video is in fact recorded in real time. This is not a market replay. Before I continue, first the required disclaimer. Okay, interesting day. Okay, so first up is I'm bringing back the chart from the line break. I've still been following this, and I wanted to show this today because the performance is notable. This particular chart set up on the 150 tick line break is a limit order at the close of the bar. You can see our fill at the close of the bar. And what I've observed from this is that, one, we often have a drawdown around 2 p.m. on this chart. So I've been trying to make some tweaks to it. So here I set the exits right around 2 p.m., 15 minutes after. Now, the next change I'm going to make is I've noticed on this chart enough times that we often get a runner. So it would be worth it, even if this trade here, if this got stopped out at the close of the bar here, it would be a better trade-off to not have such a tight trailing stop, but instead have the ability to catch one of these runners on a couple of contracts. So I am going to loosen up our trailing stop and turn that into something that would allow catching this kind of a move. But anyway, just a reminder, this is 10 contracts, but 21.25 on 2 trades in the bond on this 150 tick line break chart that we've seen some excellent performance. Next up is the 377 tick version of that line break chart. So this is has less bars and less sensitive to pullbacks or whipsaws, but this has actually been probably the most consistent. It's just that once again, I'm getting stopped out prematurely. So on this chart as well, I am going to loosen up the trailing stop so that it has the ability to run up here, and then we would have a much more significant profit level. Okay, next up is the DAX on a 34-second line break chart. We took a $700 drawdown off the open, but then recovered nicely with a couple of trades here to finish at about 200. And we had one loser at the end that dragged us down a little bit. Okay, next up is the E-mini S&P on a Super Renko 6 tick. We've seen this chart quite a bit. I've talked about it quite a bit. This is pretty consistent performing setup on the E-mini S&P Super Renko 6 tick bars. And what's different about this and unusual is that our entry time, okay, I take that back. This one starts at 9:30. I actually have two of these trading. One starts at 9:30, one starts at 12:30. This one started at 9:30. And we did 437.50 for the day. And we went short here late in the day and caught this single short trade, which was good for almost 10 points in the E-mini S&P on 2 contracts. Nevertheless, a very solid performance on this chart. Okay, next up is the E-mini S&P on a 987 tick line break chart. So I have been experimenting with line break charts. This one is actually trading 3 contracts. This did 437 today on not a lot of trades. You can see our beginning equity here. We had a minimal drawdown of a tick or so. And then we came back with 2 winners here. This last one being of note, this long trade in the last hour of trading came up and we got an excellent exit as the market sold off into the close. So pretty nice performance here on this chart. This one so far, I've just shown it a few times, and it is demonstrating some nice consistency. Next up is the gold contract on a Super Renko 6 tick. This did 370 for the day on a single trade, and you can see here somewhere around the open of the session is here around 820 or 830, and we went long and we got filled on our limit fill, and then one of the contracts taken out here, and then trail stopped out. So 370 to the plus side of the ledger on the gold. Another new chart that I'm trying out is the 2500 tick line break chart, and this one here took a little bit of heat off the open, but then recovered to the plus side of the ledger with a couple of winners here. And what I'm trying to point out with these line break charts is that there's tremendous potential in line break trading. So on the subject of line break, this is a 13 tick line break on the crude oil, and this particular chart is showing 4 line breaks. And even though this is a losing day and we currently have one contract open at 290 profit, so our net loss on this is only about $350 or so. Not a great big deal on the crude, but I just want to show the potential of this type of a chart and how the auto trader can catch these swings. Certainly, let's just say you took 2 contracts and you went for 4 ticks and 5 ticks profit, or 2 contracts at 5 ticks. Let's just say we wanted to get $100 of each trade. Or 4 ticks and 5 ticks would be $90, and we'd have just a little bit more probability of reaching our 4 ticks. So, but just for argument's sake, let's say 2 contracts at $100 per trade. These are very short targets, and you'll see a lot of these swings catch that or more. A chart like this would be about the closest thing I could come to for scalping. If you would get some kind of way to measure the trend for the day, and that could be done by looking at higher time frame charts, hourly charts or daily charts, then you could go over here to our signals, and we could say, okay, let's only take long trades, and therefore you would eliminate these whipsaws here by only going long. We could also tell the auto trader to stop trading if we have 3 winners or 4 winners. Personally, I prefer a dollar amount. That gives you a lot more room that if you had 3 winners, sometimes you come back very often with a couple of strong winners, whereas if you limited yourself to 3 losers, that's it. But my point being is that the movement on these charts eventually give way to the nicer swings, and these are tradable swings. So with the right money management, this is new. Remember, I haven't really tweaked this, but with the right money management, I believe that this could be greatly improved. So I'm going to leave you with that. That's all for today's video. If you'd like to find out more, please visit us at bluewavetrading.com or send us an email to systems@bluewavetrading.com. Thanks for watching today.